but in the after, people live wherever it's safest. Our old home used to be a broken-down school bus in a parking lot back in Fort Dallas, so this is an improvement. Sort of. At least back in the school bus, I could crack a window and get a hint of a breeze. My room isn't pleasant, temperature-wise, so I've done my best to decorate it with as many pretty things as I can. Colorful scarves and curtains drape every inch of the walls and hang above from the tall ceiling like banners. Claudia brought me magazines and posters from bookstores, and I've papered the walls with pictures of wonderful things. Old movie advertisements, pictures of castles, anything and everything that caught my eye. My furniture is delicate and pretty, also thanks to Claudia and her dragon mate Kyle. My bed is a soft, fluffy cloud like nothing I've experienced in the past. Really, they've been so good to me. It's not their fault I'm miserable. I head into the bathroom and set my candle down on the counter. First, I wash up. Sweat is a strong smell, and since dragons have keen senses, I have to try and remove as much of it as possible. I strip off my dress and out of my panties, and then use a washcloth, soap, and water to give myself a quick bath. I have to scrub every part of my body that might carry scent. Under the arms, behind the knees, the neck, and between the thighs. Once that's done, I towel dry, apply liberal amounts of deodorant, and then begin perfuming. I hate the perfume the most. Just the smell of it is enough to make me gag and choke, but I have to or else I can't go out at all. It's something to be endured, just like the heat. I close my eyes, hold my breath, and then begin spraying. A light mist all over the body, and then heavy doses at my pulse points with the biggest sprays between my thighs. I get fresh panties from a drawer I keep here in the bathroom, and dose them with perfume before putting them on as well. Then, coughing, I step out and quickly dress before I start to sweat again. When I'm clothed, I slip on a pair of sandals and head out, finally able to face the bright, warm sunshine of the day. Like Claudia said, it's early, but compared to the dark cave of my room, it's gorgeous. I can hear distant birds, and the breeze ruffles my hair. I live for these moments, when I feel like I'm free and not just trapped in a coffin. We're up high at the top of a destroyed skyscraper in the middle of Old Dallas. Because my sister's mated to a dragon, we live on the top floors, because he likes to come and go easily. I imagine it's a lot like birds in their nests. They don't want to be on the ground like people. The building's not whole, though. Most of the windows have been shattered, and one end of the building has completely collapsed and fallen open. This doesn't bother my sister or her dragon, though. They have patio furniture and wood-burning grills set up in the open area, like it's just a big outdoor living space. This is where my sister keeps her kitchen, and I limp toward the edge of the building because I like to look out at the open spaces. Don't get too close, Claudia warns me as she feeds another wood log to her fire pit. I ignore her, because she's always telling me that as if I'm a child, as if I don't do this every time I come out. I move to the edge of the building, where the wall has fallen away and has left nothing but empty, open space hundreds of feet up. I clutch at the mortar work and lean forward, letting the stiff breeze whip my long blonde hair around my face. Up here, you can see forever. I sigh and rest my chin on my hand as I gaze down at the ruins of the city below. Up here, it's almost pretty. I remember being young and riding in the back seat of the car as my parents drove through downtown traffic. I remember the streets were nothing but bumper-to-bumper cars, gray buildings, signs, and billboards, and so many clustered buildings that it could never be called pretty. It's all different now. There are still a lot of buildings, 7 years after the rift, but the wildlife is reclaiming a lot of the world. Even with dragonfire burning the world on a regular basis, there's still so much greenery. The half-crumbled buildings are covered in vines, and the streets are veined with green grass that's grown up in the cracks of the asphalt. Trees have sprung up everywhere possible, and when I look across the way, there's a cluster of new saplings that have sprung up atop a broken overpass. Deer bounce back and forth between overgrown bushes. The tall buildings of Old Dallas still stick up from the ruins, but it's becoming a wilder, prettier place. The only sounds are those of birds singing and the wind whipping around us. I gaze out at the green and gray of Old Dallas, and off in the distance, like a big, ugly stain, is Fort Dallas. It's the last safe place for humanity in this area, and they've all clustered together in one small area that's surrounded by a metal...